broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, everyone.
Anything you could do, I could do better. I can do anything better.
I wrote a song for you, Mark.
Yes,
You did?
Yes.
What?
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
And I wrote it really well. Like,
Yes,
I'm better at writing songs than you are. What? I don't know. Anyways, this is the NXT after show right here on AfterBuzz TV. I was really confused by that song.
We
I know, but it went so fast. I didn't have time for my mind to catch up. It was just like, it was too fast. It was too fast.
That's awesome.
Why did we choose that song? Anyways.
We'll get there in the show.
I'm Gabby Kelly. Sitting across from me, as always, Mark Donica.
Hi, Kathy Kelly. She wrote a song about me. Actually, not the first person. Somebody wrote a song about me in high school. It was really weird.
Who?
Danica.
That's very strange.
And Nadine.
Was it based on like Knight Rider? 'Cause that's
No.
what it kinda sounds like.
I'm doing great, Kathy Kelly. We just had an awesome interview on Epic Meal Empire. Everybody should watch it. We'll talk about it after the show.
Cool.
Yep.
And then sitting next to Mark Donica, who also did the awesome interview that they're going to talk about at the end of the show, True Hobo.
He was there.
I was
Whoa.
there.
Holy
I was
crap.
like mixing it up. Like a true professional.
Yeah?
Like a professional.
Was it epic?
What do you know? It was epic. I'd say it was epic.
Yeah.
Epic.
You get one of those?
Epic.
Pretty freaking cool.
That's good
That's
coffee.
good stuff.
Hope the interview is as great as that sip sounded.
It's beer.
It's beer.
Yeah, he brought us beer.
Our guest brought beer.
That is a good guest. You should have him back.
We're gonna.
Every
we'd like
single
to.
day.
And now on NXT,
Yeah,
now
seriously.
on NXT. So,
We don't want to give it to him like right away. We gotta make him wait for it.
And that's
They'll
Kathy
appreciate
Kelly.
it more.
And joining us always as our wonderful host is Kathy Kelly.
hi.
Cupcake.
It is I.
Joining us as our first time ever host, Kathy Kelly.
all right, guys, let's talk about NXT.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, we're going.
So, first match of the night, we have the Women's Divas match. Which are they calling them this week?
Yep.
Becky versus Bayley. Becky Lynch, of course, accompanied by Sasha Banks. Becky ends up getting the win with a little bit of a distraction from Sasha.
This match was insane. This had the regular beats of a long form match in about 3 minutes. It phenomenal. Like this is like the stuff that we love every week from the Divas division.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was great. It was just compact.
Definitely.
I mean, you see Bayley in the driver's seat. All of a sudden, Becky Lynch is on top. Bayley's coming back. Distraction. Roll up. And it's over.
I loved how fast-paced it was. It seemed like this week's episode in general was shorter. It clocked in around 48 minutes.
Yeah, 40
I feel
minutes.
like usually they've been hitting like a 52, 53-minute mark. So I think they could have let them have more time. I don't know why they didn't.
I mean,
but it was a great match for...
I mean, they've got one more week if they don't do anything on Thanksgiving, which is probable.
Well, they didn't even tell us what was going on next week. I don't know what's going on, and I'm...
There's actually a lot of things that are kind of muddled when it comes to next week or the next episode, and we're gonna get to them.
Yeah.
But this
It's just the problem of taping everything ahead of time.
No, I know, but I feel like last year we were told, okay, well, next week we will have a special episode and one match.
like a special presentation.
And that was before I think they started doing these NXT specials.
That was when they were still on Hulu.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was just this whole the storyline, the women's division has always been on point, always been on like the best sort of wavelength. You rarely see like a bump in the road with it, and now having Charlotte kind of be a tweener but making it work a little bit more into the positive, she seems more like a regular person as opposed to when she was with the BFFs and she was just a cartoonishly mustache twirly type of person.
She's being herself.
Yeah,
she is playing the NXT Women's Champion, which she is.
Mm-hmm. And you have to be ready with all of the eyes on the championship. You have to identify who your friends are real quick. So
if you have any friends
at all. And but Bayley is the one person that everybody can go to who will always trust you. Who will always trust you no matter what. And whether she's correct or not about it, she is always a person that can be trusted.
And she's nice. And you see that at the segment after the match. Bayley and Charlotte are talking, and at the end, they hug, and Charlotte's face is sort of like, you're too nice to be doing this job.
Yeah.
You're too sweet for this. You don't know how to defend yourself. You don't know how to have those instincts, those killer instincts that are required to be a champion. And while Charlotte likes Bayley, she sort of acknowledges that she's not a killer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, I mean, it'll be exciting to see the Sasha Charlotte thing.
And speaking of that, in the commentary, again, Ron Corleone, always on tap on the chat roll, reminded that in the commentary, whenever they're talking about Sasha Banks and the BFFs, they talk about how Sasha was the leader of the BFFs, seemingly retconning Summer Rae's existence.
She was Regina George, and Charlotte is Catty Heron.
Okay.
I don't understand what you said, but I'm behind you 100%.
Thanks.
You're not allowed to say all this.
Okay.
She was the mean girl that was actually a nice girl at first, but now she's mean, and then she takes over the BFFs, the mean girls, and then she realizes that she's actually nice deep down.
So Mean Girls.
I got it.
Mean Girls was never a feature at the Hobo movie night.
I'm not allowed to watch that by law.
Here you go. Just have a little more of that.
Thanks.
So the Vaudevillains come out in the next segment.
We want to move to the next segment. Are we done talking about this?
I mean, it's just always phenomenal.
Fast women's match on point backstage. Charlotte won't be here next week.
Yeah, that was the thing. They talk about next week.
Yeah.
That was the first thing where it was like, wait a minute.
Oh, do they mean like next Thursday, or do they mean the first Thursday in December?
Again, ambiguity. You pointed it out to begin with, and it seems to be a trend that I didn't quite pick up on.
Maybe they are going to have an episode because...
I mean, everybody's going to be around their computer screen?
Not so much.
TV?
But I mean, this week, we were talking about how last week it went up so early. This week, I think I texted you.
You did. It was
4
like
hours before the show. I was like, hey, so NXT is up if you guys want to watch it.
I mean, it's
maybe
recorded.
They're just doing like a slow thing where they'll release it earlier and earlier
until finally
it's
gets
on
to
Wednesday.
That's
so
how
it'll be released at like 3 in the morning.
It'll still air at Thursday.
I think that these online streaming services, they are able to release it whenever they want because they know they're going to get the same amount of viewership. It doesn't matter whether they release it at an exact certain time or they release it a little bit earlier. I do think since, it is, the spoilers are technically already out there, it doesn't matter as much for this. I don't know.
So with that in mind, do we really think we're going to have an episode and we're going to be pulling double duty in 2 weeks?
No.
We'll have to wait and find out.
Well, we're hoping, there's a lot of things that happened this week, but, I mean...
I will let you guys know that we are not coming in on Thanksgiving to do an after show.
The place is closed. People got things to do.
The place is closed, unfortunately. We will be watching, and we would love to tweet you if there is one.
Yeah, maybe we could...
Maybe after dinner.
Right, we'll be around.
Maybe we can...
Maybe
we can arrange a time to all just go and talk about the show.
Yes.
Maybe.
Over some turkey.
On top of turkey.
Am I invited?
Well...
You just want our food.
Yeah.
You don't even want to talk about NXT.
I'm not going to hide that.
Let's talk about the Vaudevillains. They come to the ring with mics and say they deserve to have the tag titles now.
I mean, they're genteel and patient men, but since they earned it, no.
Now. And then the Lucha Dragons music hits. We think they're coming out, but it's actually the mini Lucha Dragons.
Lucha Loompas was the word of the day.
There's a nice progression in this segment, actually, that I really liked. But this, oof.
Yeah, so they have a match. And
fairly one-sided. Entirely one-sided.
They kept on saying on commentary how it was embarrassing for the Lucha Dragons to have this happen, because they're tarnishing their name. Like, what were your thoughts on this?
Well, we get this type of a segment every once in a while. Not that often anymore.
It's a regular occurring thing.
It used to be a more regular thing back in the Attitude Era. The Edge and Christian, they have a very memorable one where they
with the Dudleys
and then the Hardys
It seemed very slapsticky.
Yes, but I like they went the extra step here and they made it a match. And there was the one end where this could be a vaudeville act where you see the strong man and the guy
spinning him around,
beating up on the little people, but then
him on his hands.
But then the little people come back and they end up getting the win. That's how the vaudeville act would go. But then on commentary, you hear everybody very clearly go from like, this is kind of funny, and then when they start beating them up, they're like, this isn't okay. And I like that. You don't get that very often because it like you said, it wasn't okay for the Lucha Dragons. This was embarrassing for the Lucha Dragons, and then there was like, why are they beating those people up? Like that. It
Who
took
organized
a turn.
it? Yeah.
Like they weren't gonna be in a match. They didn't think they were gonna be a match. They thought they were just gonna be having fun.
Man. They were obviously paid for this by the Vaudevillains, and they went, okay, well, we'll come out to the ring and it'll be funny. But then they started to beat them up, and you see the little guys go, wait a minute, we didn't sign up for this.
Yeah,
and that's where the villain part of the Vaudevillains started to come out, and they're really.
So even though it was awkward, it still told a story, and it made them.
Because it progressed. It wasn't just like, this is a segment where they beat up little people.
Unlikable.
Yeah.
And it's an insult to the Lucha Dragons. It really is, because it shows that they don't take them seriously.
They don't take anyone seriously.
Yeah.
Right. And them especially, their opponents, who are the title holders. They're besmirching their good name.
Know who I do take seriously? Baron freaking Corbin.
Baron Corbin.
How could you not?
Baron
Corbin. Baron butt kick Corbin.
The crowd, I love this, still chanting along how many seconds. I think it was 22 seconds this week. And then before Corbin even makes it to the top of the ramp for his, victory walk away, Bull Dempsey's music.
We got so excited when we were watching this. We popped real heavy. It's like, they're doing it. Yes.
They didn't even confront each other.
I mean, Baron was smug. Yeah.
It's just passing ships.
Like there's a ships in
They
the night,
recognize each other's talent.
Mm-hmm. Like Baron even gave him a beat that, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
You see it there, and that's why we played Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better. That because of those two. Because where you get Baron with the quick matches, you get Bull really trying to beat up
to kill someone.
Steve Cutler.
Right. That's the difference between Corbin and Dempsey. You see a guy who just goes for the quick win in Corbin. Bull Dempsey's there to break a man down. He's trying to send him packing, not send him to the locker room, send him home.
Yeah.
Make sure that they give the X at the end of the match or during, whatever. Yeah. And it was fun. The fans were chanting, we're counting along, and once they hit 21, it was like, Baron's better.
I know. So I love that. The booze.
The NXT universe, they're definitely in on it, and they're in an attitude of, they're going to make this happen. We're going to make sure that this is the best that it can be by trying to be as much of a part of it as they can.
And obviously they picked their favorite so far in Baron Corbin. Bull Dempsey is kind of on the losing end for the crowd. And so that might be a little bit more incentive for him to put a little bit more salt on Baron Corbin.
Maybe. And hopefully we get to see that more tonight, too.
What do you think? I mean, I know we brushed over it, but what do you think of Elias Sampson and Steve Cutler?
I mean, I've always been a fan of Steve Cutler.
Yeah.
Ever since he started. Like, there are times, when we're watching the squash matches and we're like, who's that? Where this one, it was like, oh, Cutler's back,
Yeah.
He's got a look. He's got the gimmick with being the ex-Marine. Like, he looks like a guy that they're going to go with once this current sort of like leading generation goes up. That's when Cutler's going to get his shot. That's what it seems like, and that I'm excited for. We've seen Elias Sampson in like squash tag matches before, and he looks good. But I wish they'd give him some offense.
22 seconds ain't a lot of time to evaluate a person's potential within a company. I'm just saying.
I mean, neither guy's got any offense in this.
Cutler got a little bit. He was able to get some hands in.
Barely.
Barely. Corbin.
What?
Corbin. It's
Buttered noodles.
Why do we have a weird thing every single week that comes back in our show?
because we're awesome.
Duh.
It's like a sitcom. Something interesting happens every time.
Yeah, but we need that the one that makes
Ties it all together.
Yeah, we need that. We'll learn a lesson at the end. Yeah. Oh, God, my headset's real loud. But somebody in the chat saying, who else was reminded of 1999 Taz when Bull came out?
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody should do a little research. Just saying, go look up Bull Dempsey.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll figure out why.
And it's great to see that these two, like the unstoppable force and the immovable object, so like they're very similar styles.
Yeah.
But both styles that people get behind, that they'll be able to clash. Like I think that this could be one of the big new rivalries between these two, because you know
would
that
come out on top.
that's the thing. It'll be sort of a thing where they never stop. It will be one of those John Cena, Randy Ortons.
I think it'll last a lot longer than 22 seconds.
That's the thing, is we're gonna see. We know that Bull can go the distance. He made.
He's a 22-second man.
No, he's not. That's Corbin.
Oh, no, I know.
We know that Bull can make people look that much better. We saw that with his mini feud with Mojo, and how he made Mojo interesting again. And Baron's already interesting and he's intriguing because he has these short matches, but we know that Bull can bring that extra bit out of him, and we'll be able to see more of Baron's ability. And it's just good. Wrestling fans win. This feud, wrestling fans win.
We win.
True story.
Yay. Congratulations, everyone. So let's talk about the next match. Tyson Kidd versus CJ Parker. Whoa.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
This is
I
something
like it.
you see it and you go, I don't think this is going to work. And then it does.
Yeah.
And you're reminded why some people are real professionals.
So CJ Parker ends up tapping. Tyson Kidd uses a sharpshooter, and then after the match issues a challenge to Finn Balor next week.
Here it is again. Next week. Okay.
Well, stay tuned.
He's gonna mash them like potatoes.
Because he's Irish.
I was thinking because it's Thanksgiving. And then he's gonna stuff them. Carve them like turkey.
I'm not going to touch that one.
Because he's Irish.
Because he's Irish.
It's okay, I'm Irish, I can say that. I guess. This, like you said, this match was awesome. I barely took any notes. I wrote down the finish, but it was one of those ones where you see, it makes you go, I want to see more Tyson Kidd. I want to see more CJ Parker.
I agree.
CJ's been this real transitional guy. Like, he helped Baron Corbin like get his first big victory, and we haven't seen too much of him as of late, but we know he can have that real nice match. We know he can cut that promo. We know he is. I hope he doesn't end up being just a guy that they use to develop other people.
Yeah.
Because he deserves more than that. He's beyond phenomenal.
We're really freaking positive this week.
Well, it's because it was a good week. A super tight-knit show with a lot of great action and performance and storytelling.
Yeah.
And I have a beer.
That's why it's... And you've got
You've got
I got some
posters.
coasters.
you've got giant pogs. Here, have another one. I'm kidding. That wouldn't do that. That's
But I
mean.
mean, the story of this match, two bad guys trying to cheat each other. The whole match. Just little bits here and there, but all of them taking every advantage they can to pull out a victory.
Yeah.
They don't care.
I have to say, I really liked Renee's stance on commentary, where she was kind of playing that devil's advocate. Like, oh, like everyone's been saying it, but CJ Parker, he only talks about how he wants to save the universe, but we've never actually seen him do anything.
I guess that's one way to look at it.
But that's true. Like, we've never seen him do anything. Is he really raising awareness? Like, because then he wouldn't have his Twitter handle on the piece of cardboard.
that's the thing.
But he would post, like, you know, some kind of charity.
So you would like to see him in some sort of vignette, actually promoting his good works.
Well,
If there is good work, or he's just a...
Well, we did get to see the no fricking fracking, or what
Yeah.
it was supposed to be. Yeah, we got to see our good friend on a little follow-up bit to that.
Yes.
But it's the promotion of the Twitter. Maybe it's because nobody's been following, so nobody knows the work that he is trying to do. So he's trying to raise that awareness by putting it on national WWE Network.
Right. You gotta plug your stuff, you
Oh,
know?
completely.
And that's one thing that they don't do that maybe they should, is include everybody's Twitter handle as everybody's coming to the ring.
Yeah.
Something they do on the main roster stuff, I don't think they're doing it here. They should do it.
I like that. It would probably take a lot more in post to do. Well,
Well, I
I
mean,
don't know. If you create a lower, just a standard thing, that would work too. And then just keep it
Yeah.
something. We'll see. Anywho, next up we have a backstage segment with Cass and Enzo and Carmella.
how you doing?
And they're basically just reiterating the reason why she's there is because they got her fired and she doesn't owe them anything.
No, I don't think they need to keep doing that. Like we got the story
Yeah.
of how she got there.
It
and now
wasn't
she's just here.
necessary.
But she had
I
a
still love
match,
seeing them.
you know?
Yeah.
No, that's the thing, is because we got a chance to see Carmella's and Enzo's relation. Like, you get a little bit more background
Yeah.
into that,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah. So we go to commercial, as much as online networks have commercials, and come back, and Cass and Enzo have a match versus Scott Dawson, who we haven't seen in a hot minute.
We were talking about him a little while ago with the mechanics. They're back.
And Wilder.
Yep, Dash Wilder.
Dash Wilder.
Best name ever. Dash Wilder.
So yeah, Scott's back, and he looks good.
Yeah.
Good. I like his style in the ring. Reminds me of an Arn Anderson.
That-
Strong.
Yeah. When you said that, it was like, yeah.
What was his injury again? Do either of
I
you
forget.
remember? He was out for probably a year.
Was it his knee? Something with his leg. Either way,
was a leg.
when he came out, we were like, awesome. Scott
Yeah.
Dawson has always been one of those guys that comes
Scott
out that we're like,
Dawson.
hell yeah, he's
Dawson.
very good. Excellent. Scott Dawson.
Beautiful.
Make the shirt.
Scott Dawson.
Scott Dawson.
Cool.
Scott Dawson.
Cass and Enzo end up winning.
How you doing?
Immediately blindsided by the Ascension as they're walking up the ramp.
I was like, new feud? No.
Whoa, nope.
Just destruction.
Then the
Slash and
Ascension
burn.
attacks Dawson and Wilder,
Dash Wilder.
and they get on like,
Wilder.
yeah. So
Follow him in. Like, and there was another thing. Hey, Atami. Hey, Balor.
everyone's calling out Balor.
Hey, we're here. We're not dead yet. The Ascension will rise
You're gonna
again.
be dead.
Yeah, exactly. We're not dead, but you too soon will be.
So
It's an
maybe
overused.
Yeah.
six-man tag, then? You got Tyson Kidd and the Ascension versus Itami and Balor, and the third man to be named later?
Perhaps.
Or it's triple threat tag team. Tag team triple threat with Gabriel and Kidd.
No.
Not again.
No.
Done.
Yeah.
Fine. Whatever. And are we not going to talk about the Parker Brothers bit before the flipping match?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Do
We're not
it.
the Parker. It was funny. There. Thank you. We talked about it.
Games.
Scrabble your brands. Scrabble your headpiece. How you doing?
How you doing?
It was good. We won't be sorry. They just, I think Alex Riley legitimately broke and was just like, I'm gonna put all my money on them because they're geniuses. They know how to entertain. They know how to come out here.
Yeah.
We actually saw some offense from Enzo. He didn't just get knocked out.
He got a headlock.
He got a headlock. He got a knee lift. He got the Manhattan drop with the big boot, which was gross.
It's well timed, I'll tell you. I was talking to you about this.
Yeah.
It's about hitting that knee, and the boot comes right then while your opponent's hands are at his side, so he's unable to defend his face.
Gross.
Looks crazy. But yeah, so the Ascension, still there, trying to kill people.
Trying to just send everybody packing. We're on top.
Moving on.
Pee drips downhill.
Most liquids do.
Do they?
Gravity.
Is gravity.
Thank you.
I like the John Mayer song though.
Yeah.
More so. Anywho.
Thank you so much.
Sami Zayn. He comes out to the ring. Oh, well, first we have the backstage with William Regal, which, yeah, standard.
But it's just like, hey, thanks, man. It was really just like somber, but that made Regal grab his coat and like, you know what, I should probably be out here just in case something goes awry.
Or pumpernickel.
Awry?
Shut up. He made a bread joke.
I heard it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Sami came out.
Sami Zayn comes to the ring.
It was interesting watching him come
With
out
a mic.
and not like dance. It was like really high and peppy music, and he's like,
Whoa.
I'm coming up to me.
I mean, the message he laid was quite a somber one at that. The music didn't reflect it. Maybe we should have just slowed down his music like a couple of steps. Just da 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 da.
Whoa. No.
Yep.
Okay.
No, that would have worked.
Sami Zayn comes to the ring with a mic, and he says to Adrian Neville, "You don't owe me anything. Would love a rematch. If our friendship means anything to you, you will give this to me." Neville obliges, and then Zayn essentially says that if he does not win, even if it's not in the contract, he is done.
Yeah. No,
Done.
Like this
So done.
Sami Zayn is like you get to see his plight in the ring, and when he works in the matches and he works from below. Then it gets on the mic and it comes all the way around and just gets hammered home. This was one of the best on mic segments, like that actually told a story, and Hobo's just totally ruining the drama of all of this.
What are you talking about? I'm right here with you.
You're a pirate.
I'm nodding along silently.
Yeah, I know. I hate you so much.
I have a monocle.
But we still, like, Neville was still there, just like, you're my friend. I will defend this title as much as I like, anytime that you'd want. But as we've seen the past 2 weeks with the same promo that he cut twice, it's like he knows like you're not gonna win. I mean, I'll humor you and I'll give you like it was.
And he
Because
said
he
that
falls for his
fact.
tricks.
He said, I don't want to be responsible
trickster.
for the end of your career. Like, it's a foregone conclusion that he's going to lose. It's terrible for Zayn. He's angry.
That is not a good friend. A friend builds you up. They don't knock you down.
Right.
Where's the cue on that one? Okay. Fantastic, wonderful promo. Regal comes out and makes the match official for what
December the 11th.
We assume is going to be TakeOver Evolution.
Oh.
That was the name that I heard on the rags. But just
No, it's Evolution. I think they called it Evolution.
Well, they said, like he said, this next takeover will be our Evolution. So it's like, okay, and then they'll put the title card up. But
I'm trying to think of better names for it.
Evolution is good.
Takeover, the third one.
Like, yes.
Takeover, the takeover inning.
Taken over.
Takeover starring Liam Neeson.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Listen to me, you're about to be taken over.
Yes! I love it. Let's do it. Make it official.
Regal, that's you. That's you, Sunshine. We'll tweet that soundbite at you. He's like, you know what? I know we've got all of the shirts made and everything made, but we're changing it.
I love it.
Maybe that'll be the fourth one.
Dude, how awesome would that be to get Liam Neeson
Everything is
in on
better
that?
with Liam Neeson in it. That's a
True.
fact.
That's fact.
Fact.
Liam Neeson makes everything better.
Even diseases. Like, if you got a disease from Liam Neeson, the disease is better.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I was at a dinner for my birthday. It was sushi.
Not well.
And guess who shows up? Liam friggin' Neeson. Not to my birthday. He just sat at the table next to us. But it was really cool. Made my birthday better.
Listen to me, I'm about to order sushi.
Yep.
Listen to me, my order's about to be taken. Boo. Okay. But speaking of this date, we kind of glazed over it.
We did.
We saw a promo announcing that somebody is going to show up on December 11th. It's Kevin Steen.
It's Kevin
Owens.
You just ruined the surprise.
What surprise?
No surprise! They showed his face.
You jerk.
Babe.
Babe, why? Who's that guy? Why is he in the dark?
Babe.
We should put a light on.
Yeah.
At the end of the show, I want to talk really quickly.
Okay.
So WWE 2K15 came out, and one of the big selling points was NXT. You start out in NXT, and you lead up to the World Heavyweight title. Many problems. Many problems.
Okay.
One of which, what isn't, that William Regal is the general manager. Cool. Awesome. They fill, instead of having actual NXT talent, like Cass, which could have been easy, like... Tyler Breeze, like many people, CJ Parker, anybody, they create wrestlers to fill the void as other up and coming wrestlers, like Joey Johnson. You fight Joey Johnson, it's like, I don't feel like I'm actually a part of anything because I'm not fighting anybody. And you're only in NXT for like 3 weeks. You win the NXT title, you get upgraded to superstars, and then they're like, well, if you want
That's not what happens in real life.
Nope. And that's
IRL.
And
like the
Bill
kids say.
DeMott is barely in the game. He shows up front and is like, you want this, right? And then he kind of barks at you during a couple of training matches, and then that's it. So as fans of NXT, we hope that instead of DLC, next year we'll actually get a full NXT roster. Yeah. That's all I want to say.
Do you think that it's because their turnover rate is so high?
I'm sure that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
But they have 4 NXT talent in the game before DLC, and that's Rusev, Adrian Neville, Sami Zayn, and Corey Graves.
Yes.
And then they're going to add Adam Rose, The Ascension, and Emma, who they counted as NXT talent, which is unfortunate. Games have a certain cutoff for development, but you still had Cass was getting that huge push.
Yeah.
Aiden English was getting that huge push. CJ Parker, Tyler Breeze, even if it's that much, and you don't even get an option to join a tag team. So having the Ascension in there is kind of like, that's cool. I get to play as the Ascension. But they were kind of looking at who do we think we'll have on the main roster by the end of 2014 so that we can put them in the game. And Rusev speaks for himself. Unfortunately, Corey Graves with his injury, but it kind of shows who they had their chips on early this year. And that is nice, and it's nice that they're giving NXT any sort of a rub.
Yeah.
But still. Yeah, I just want to say that. Just because NXT is consistently wonderful, and it's our favorite, it's my favorite wrestling show.
You can speak for all of us.
Yeah, speaking of everybody,
go ahead.
This is our favorite wrestling show, and
True that.
And because it proves week and week again that it is the best, and the fact that they got some recognition, but not the stuff that we feel they deserve. Despite, we are some of the most dedicated to NXT proper, maybe a little bit more than like the main roster shows. So we have a certain expectation.
It's a knock on the main roster shows.
No offense. No, seriously, just because.
I love how no offense is always followed up by something super offensive.
But that's not super offensive.
I know.
It's just we watch this one more because we cover it.
Because
that's for
you
me
all
anyway.
suck.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Talking to you, Triple H.
Because we're better. No.
Because NXT better.
No offense, but we're better.
No offense, but you're offensive. That's offensive.
You're really offensive.
You're pretty smelly.
Babe.
So with the quality of NXT, it's a shame to see that quality is not represented in something that more fans get to try to endorse the NXT talent and roster a little bit more.
It may also have something to do with monies per se.
Yeah, maybe.
Hadn't quite thought of it, but all the talent featured in the video game gets some sort of monetary compensation for being in said video game.
For representation, like
their name and likeness.
Yeah,
Right.
They
likeness
don't
rights.
technically
That's
have
Oh,
the name.
there's something there, but there's a lot of talent down in NXT that have been featured for years, and I do believe they could have drawn on that. There's really not much of a good reason for that.
Yeah, we're gonna cover 2K15 on our stuff, but what NXT was wonderful this week.
Agreed.
And do we act? Will they do Thanksgiving?
I don't know.
It's so cloudy.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess we could check the programming.
Maybe they'll just randomly upload it on Wednesday.
Problem.
Sure,
There's like a special preview for next
They
year.
can do what they want.
this is true. They have their own network.
They do. That's
which is free for the month of November. Even
is.
Survivor Series.
then maybe it would make sense for them to try to pack in as many new shows as possible.
Maybe.
So that they can get more eyes and ears. So, I think that wraps up our after show.
Definitely.
This is fun. Let's do it again.
Okay. Not next week.
Well,
Not next week.
Right
I'm a little
now.
busy next
Not
week.
Let's
next
do
week.
another one.
Yeah, I have this dinner next week, so yeah, we can anyways, leave us your comments on your thoughts on this week's after show and this week's episode of NXT on our YouTubes. Subscribe to us on iTunes and then follow us on the social medias. Where can they find you?
We'll also join us live. We're live
Do that too.
every week, and we try to interact and use the chat as much as possible. You can find me on Twitter at SoapboxMark. You can find the two of us at SoapboxCarTV. We do alternate wrestling entertainment content, including we're debuting a new show this Tuesday. It is an interview segment. We got currently known as Nux in TNA, but known as Mike Knox in the WWE. We had our good friend Joe Galley sit down and have an excellent interview with him, and that's going to be going up on Tuesday. It's a wonderful interview.
I get to work a little bit with him, like one of the most genuinely nice guys I've ever met in my entire life.
And you wouldn't expect that with the menagerie gimmick, but you can find us on SoapboxCarTV on YouTube and on Spreadshirt if you want to get our swag. SoapboxCarTV.Spreadshirt.com.
And we did an unboxing for 2K15 on Tuesday, and that was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, I bet
I don't
it
know
was.
about you.
Fucking
I have no hobo.
Drove me insane.
And you can find me on the Twitter at TrueHobo, ProWrestlingTees.com/hobo.
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelly. You can find me on Instagram at Kathy Kelly. You can find all of us here on Twitter and Instagram at AfterBuzz TV. Until 2 weeks from now,
Until next time.
See you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.